Hello, and thank you for joining me today for Enjoying the Journey. I have the privilege to meet with three other guys on a weekly basis, and we're walking through the book of 1 John. We do a few verses a week, and we have 4 to 5 verses, 6 verses maybe a week. We study those verses, we journal those verses, we either use the SOAP or the HEAR method. And then when we meet, we just walk through those passages and say, what does the word say? And what would my life look like if I surrendered myself to that? What would my life look like if I applied the truth of the word to my life, which has been really, really neat and really good for me and for the other guys. And we're walking through the book of 1 John. 1 John has a lot to say about fellowship. It has a lot to say about abiding, but it also talks a lot about sin. And how that as followers of Jesus that we deal with sin, and as followers of Jesus we should have a longing in our heart to obey him and to walk in the truth. In chapter 2, verse 3, listen to this. Chapter 2, verse 3, it says this. It says, "By this we know that we have come to know him, if we keep his commandments. The one who says, I have come to know him, and does not keep his commandments is a liar, and the truth is not in him." Hear what John's saying to these people that he really, really cared about. He says, the proof of my knowing Jesus is I have a desire in my heart to obey his commands. He goes on and says that if you tell me that you know Jesus and you're not walking in the truth, if you're not obeying him, if you're not living a life that honors him by obedience to the truth and to his word, then Scripture says you're a liar. And the truth is not in you. See, I think in our culture that we've kind of settled into, if I know Jesus, I can do anything I want to do and he will forgive me. Well, thank God that his grace is greater than our sin. But part of this following Jesus, knowing Jesus, is that he begins to change the desires of my heart. And I begin to long to obey him and to walk in the truth, empowered by his presence. You see, the proof of my knowing Jesus is my willing to place myself under his authority and let Jesus really be Jesus in me as I live out the truth of his word in obedience and surrender to him, empowered by his presence in my life. See, if I know him, he's going to change the desires of my heart to where I long to obey him. The better I know him, the more I realize and understand what he's done for me, the more I have a desire to walk in obedience to his truth. I pray that today you walk with Jesus. I pray you take a look at your life. Do you know him? And are you walking in obedience to his commands and to the truth of his word, empowered by his presence? You enjoy the journey today. Enjoy this life. Enjoy walking with Jesus. Surrender, place yourself under his authority, and live empowered by his presence, walking in the truth of his precious words. Have a blessed day, and I hope that you let Jesus be Jesus in you today. Thank you so much for watching Complete in Christ as we strive to teach you about the Christ life. And we encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and may you have a blessed day walking with Jesus.